Hello, good evening from me. Sorry, I've been a little bit offline. These energies really gave me a pretty good tossing around yesterday, and for the first time ever, I had to reschedule some clients because I wasn't well. So I felt a lot of very strong energies yesterday, and I'll talk to you about how they are looking, what I'm seeing about them as well. But yeah, I had a lot of pressure in the back of my head, and I had a lot of pain in the neck and into the shoulders. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Larissa. And then I felt quite nauseous. So that was how I spent a lot of yesterday. But again, we're into these newer energies, these higher cosmic codes. I want to call them the God codes now. And they're showing up in this kind of extraordinary spectrum of crystalline light, which has also been showing up with the sword, the masculines holding the sword. And so there's a little bit of information about that. I don't have that much new information for you as divine counterparts, but I wanted to explain to you some of these bigger energies that are here because I am aware that especially divine feminines at the moment have been kind of pushed to the end. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. And so I'll make my way with it, and you just feel to, excuse me, to add in, to ask any questions. And I want to tell you about some of the kind of scenarios that I've been given as well. Gaia, one of the things that Gaia said to me was, about our divine masculine. He has to go and collect his knighthood, his sword of light, his power. And then this is his time for great self-analysis and inner reflection. Who is he? Who is he not? Who does he wish to be and become? He will go deep. The masters will be in his ear. So a lot of the divine masculine, or some of the divine masculine, it's like they're off on a quest, finding their own sovereignty, their own greatness, their own knighthood. And a guy is saying divine feminines need to rest, to contemplate and relax, that all is perfect. The energies, how they look, I want to explain them. So these swords that are showing up, they are fairly well integrating the light that's showing up at the moment. So next month, we're heading to this massive planetary alchemy, or this alchemy and transformation on a planetary level. I'm going to read you this. So I was reminded, so this is from a few days ago, I was reminded of a sword of light that I saw in a recent reading, this transformation energy. It's this rush of exceptionally densely compacted crystalline energy that is full of white and lilac and silver and gold and it was emanating a violet glow. Now today I've been shown that with 2 extra colours, with a purple and with a violet. Oh, the violet was in there with a purple as well. So this energy is showing up as white, with yellow, with lilac, with purple, with violet, and gold and silver. So 7 colours it's holding, and it's for both purification and transformation. So I've got something I want to invite you to do. It is the most extraordinary sight, this gushing toroidal field containing this crystalline liquid light, this photonic light, the biggest transformation series of energies ever coming to planet Earth. And so we are in, if you like, we're in the beginnings of the wash of this. Everybody will be affected. This amount of transformation received will link to personal readiness. Some will feel it as a gentle tingling, others as a rushing, gushing force, like riding the water rapids in a fast moving river. And so this is this writing that I've done about what we're coming into in early July. We were not the same at the beginning of June. We opened and changed through the solstice, and July is going to be bigger than that. This will catalyze a lot of physical movement. So twins, for divine counterparts, at the moment I'm showing that there's a lot of revisiting the past. So the past memories, the past experiences, the past feelings. And that this is one of the aspects, if you like, that is going to have a very impactful shift for the masculines. So if I just can quickly review what they've gone through, if you think about their energetic changes, which we've done as well, but for them it's been more recent, more rapid, and so they have been having let's see. It doesn't matter about the order. The order is a bit different for everybody, but they have recently had, or in the process of having, like, it shows up like a gelatin veil. Like if you imagine a slightly like a bathing cap, an old-fashioned swim cap, but it's made of gelatin, and it like comes down to here on them. It's really interesting. It's like it's been blocking their third eye. It's been blocking their ability to see, to have more of their psychic awareness. And it's like that is either being pulled off or about to be pulled off or has just been pulled off. So they're now able to come into their higher consciousness. So that's one thing that's been showing up just recently. It's like a shroud or a veil. And then they have had this, their psychic gifts are coming online more, and that will be different for each of them, of course. But there's a lot of dream time that's been coming for them. And then they've had their hearts open, so they've gone through 3 heart openings. They're in a lot of flow in their power center up to their throat. So their upper chakra, well, really right up to the soul star, that was a big energy coming in today. So this big flow both up and down from the soul star right down through to the crown, to the third eye, through the throat, higher heart and solar plexus, and back up. So a lot of streaming of that, this connecting up through all of that. So they've had their hearts open, they've come into their emotional body, their feminine aspect, the left side of their body, streaming through their emotional body. So they have started to, remember. So they've been having their, what Gaia calls their rememberings. It's become poignantly aware to many of them exactly what they're to do and who they're to do that with, and what their mission and purpose is. And so right now, their quest is a bit like um, gathering themselves. That's interesting. It's like, yeah, it's funny because that word hadn't come before, but quest is a perfect description for it. So, for example, I've seen one of the divine masculine stories, if you like, because I tune into a number of them, but one of well, and I have clients who are divine masculine. So one of the stories is that they have in the departure lounge, they're at the airport. So they have already organised their exit and they are at the airport, they're all packed. They've checked in, they've gone through the check-in and they've checked in their baggage, they've checked in themselves, they've gone through to the departure lounge and they are sitting there awaiting their flight. So that's where some of the divine masculine are at. Some of them are snipping the cords that bind them. Some of them are like finishing off, making everything right and completing. So they might be gathering up some skills and they might be finishing off connections or disentangling from their experiences so that they are free. But they are, many of them are in that, holding that sense of freedom. So they have that I feel free. So they've connected and they know what their new thing, their new connection, their new partnership is going to look like and feel like. And it's so clear to them. And what happens is that they come to this place of recognizing that they can have this love that they've never had before in a connection that is unlike one that they've ever had before. And it brings them such freedom. And so this is part of this is a big, I want to say epiphanic. There is such a word, it sounds strange to say, but epiphanic moment for them. It's like I can have all this and be free and feel sovereign. So that in this whole process with that, uh, there's real tangible examples that I can't share of physical dissolution of current relationships. What other analogies are there? I've seen another story of a similar story to that with somebody who's always been very, when I've tuned into this DM, he's always been very kind of upright, like in this forward motion, and a little bit defensive. And like when I tuned into him the other day, it's like he's like he's on a lounger now. And all the times that I've tuned into him, he's always been either on his feet or sort of sitting forward on a stool and being defensive. And and it's like he's got his hands behind his neck and he's got his ankles crossed and he's like, So he's in that total place of relaxation. They're quite massive shifts that I've seen in some of these beings who I have regular connections with. There's also the list. Remember how I spoke about how they had the list? So a lot of them have already, the list is written. A lot of them have ticked off the bits of the list, and some of them are checking that the list, checking that they've done all of the bits, even though they're ticked off. They're just having a last minute check. I'm showing that for twins in general, for both divine counterparts, that whatever blocks or baggage, hold ups or veils or shrouds that remain, this sounds violent, will be ripped off. Hearts are pumping, racing, enlivened, activated, wide-eyed and open The masculines will be organizing, preparation for moving with urgency. And this is Gaia's sense of humor. Hi, hi, Silver. Rearing palominos, galloping through the desert, headed for the oasis. That's what she gave me a couple of nights ago. So you can have that with a bit of humor. Yeah, so we're in this huge, Rick Jewis says, we're in this indefinite period of a great influx of photonic light. So that's interesting. So here's what, yesterday was a 22 master day, and Grandmother Anna showed up in my clinic because I did my early session, and then it was after that I started to feel nauseous and thought, I know I need to lie down. So Grandmother Anna, she was describing the light to me like this, and she's saying that we're going through deep purification and transmutation, as well as upgrading the royal codes and divine love, divine cosmic love, all at the same time. So she's saying, so we've got this white energy. So it's kind of, you can look at it in layers to imagine it. So this white energy in the middle, this is the purification energy. I would encourage you, invite you, ask you, request that you use that light to send it out, over things that need to be cleared and cleansed. I'm really showing, and I don't have a percentage on it, but I'm really showing that there's very little clearing and cleansing of the shadow, of the dark, to be done now. We're in the last aspects of that. So this white light is doing that, and then we've got this cosmic lilac divine love light. So you could see that as the one that gets wrapped around it. So that's bringing us these higher God codes. And then we've got this Christos light, which is more a yellow, a golden yellow light. So you could see that as the next layer. And then we have this, the royal codes, and the royal codes are the purple. So if you look at the purple that's on Jackie Innison's J, if you look at that, that's the color of the royal purple. And so those are the royal codes, those are the royal bloodlines, those are from the ancient days where we came in to bring the codes to earth, and that we carried those in our royal blood, if you like. And then there's the violet, which is stronger and deeper, and that's the transmutation light. And then there's the gold. I get all wobbly when I say that. This next part is really interesting. Then there's the gold and silver. This is the mother and the father energy. And so you could see that as sort of wrapping around it. But what we are doing is we're going through both aspects of this at the same time. So we're going through this, bringing in these codes, we're going through the integration of them, and we're going through deeper purification. And so the more that we do the purification, then the more easily it is we can access the higher codes. So it's a bit of a two-way street. So these cosmic God, goddess code upgrades. So if you are good, and I don't mean that as in being well behaved. I mean, if you are good, if you're good in yourself, so if you're feeling balanced and integrated, and on the times that you are, then I just invite you to hold space for others, to send love from your heart, and to beam out this white purification light onto the parts around you, into your surrounding, the people around you, the buildings around you, and the land around you. And I have this daily practice that has come through. So this came through today, to invite people to spend at least a few minutes several times a day in total stillness of being, and call in your balance and call in your harmonizing, and then call in those lights that I mentioned earlier, the white, the lilac, the purple, the violet, the gold, the silver, and fill yourself up with those. And breathe them through your body and visualize them moving in and out to fill all aspects of self. And then fill your immediate space, and then the people in your immediate space, and then the surroundings, and then into your district or county or suburb, whatever you might call it, where you are, and then through to the city, and then through to your country, and then to the world, and then into the inner planet, and then to the waters, the airs, and the ethers. And so just ask you to spend a few minutes 3 times a day just doing that, so we can kind of help nudge this along a bit. So today, the sun energy and light today was all activating the higher chakras, from the soul star to the solar plexus, and having a big impact on more than us. So we've been, those of us who are here, we've been having that kind of experience for a while, and the masculines have started having that, but this is for the collective. I mean, this is how fast we're moving, everybody. I'll come back in here to the chat in a moment. I'll tell you this. I wasn't going to tell you this. It's quite funny, though. It's quite beautiful. So it's being shown. Oh, well, I might just retitle this as other things as well. So I was watching Gaia, and she was arranging white rabbits. So these white rabbits were sitting up on their hindquarters, and they were being arranged in some kind of grid on the earth. And they are behaving like sentries. They're being very still and very aware. They looked as though they were slightly kind of hypnotized or mesmerized. And what Gaia, when I said to Gaia, so what are they doing? She said, they are transposing energy into the grid. They are being used as instruments for purification of beneath the land. So if you think about, the rabbits, so it was just interesting to me. So the rabbits in their burrows, they are there on the land. They, scope about on the land, and they also go in under. So it's in that surface area the rabbits are doing this work. So then she says, this is her humour. It's a bit of white rabbit out of the hat magic. And I want to read these lyrics to you, because the lyrics from Jefferson Airplane, Alice in Wonderland came. So I want to read that to you. And then this is also to do with fertility for the planet and for humanity, for luck, for creativity, for intuition and compassion. The white rabbits represent all of that. And Gaia said, remember that life is full of possibility. And so this is where we are at now. We're at this place where we can be dreaming up our world, our life, and our immediate surroundings. I'll find this, and then I will read the chat. I did have it up somewhere. I wonder whether I've got it still here on the screen. I don't want it to play any music. Okay, it's no good. All right, I'll put it in here then. See if I can see it this way. Yep. Yeah, so I thought this was interesting in terms of what we are experiencing, because this is about creation. One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go, and we know that this is, this is a spin-off about psychedelics as well. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell them a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you the call. Call Alice when she was just small. When the men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you've just had some kind of mushroom, and your mind is moving low, go ask Alice. I think she'll know. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead and the white knight is talking, I think it's meant to be walking, or anyway, talking backwards, and the red queen's off with her head, remember what the dormouse said. Feed your head, feed your head. So I just feel that there's some elements in there that we can pick out to do with the white rabbit. All right, so let me go back and see if there's any queries and say hello. Hello, Golden. Felt tired most of the day. Yeah, they are. I want to tell you that I believe that we've been receiving into our form seventh dimensional energies and frequencies and higher. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Lauren. Starting to level up more as we go later into day. Only 2 hours sleep last night. Emotional body being stretched. Yes, I think that a lot of the divine feminines may have been feeling that, and I'm wondering if that's part of the experience the divine masculines are going through, as they are really being pulled through their emotional body. This is all part of their reflection to the past experiences. Hello, Rael. Totally in these massive energies, lots of exercise and grounding or release through dance. Her preferred exercise to regulate the emotional. That's a good tip. Thank you. And Belinda has been dreaming of the colour purple every night for the last week. Oh, very cool. Lauren saying full moon in Capricorn is going to help many DMs set free of responsibilities that no longer serves them to align with the 777 portal, which reminds me, thank you, it reminds me that this is, that the very strong programming that the masculines have. So this is what would you call it? Descaling, descaling their mental mind programming about kind of the familial. This is the way that men behave. This is the way that the masculines behave. This is what they do. This is how they think. This is what they need to strive for. All of that impregnation of the mental mind of programming and thinking and behaviors and patterns that come through their familial lines are in the mental are being dissolved because they're moving more into their emotional. Something strange happened to Golden's brain. It felt like it was buzzing. Oh, yeah, that might have been the energy coming in through the crown. Is it balanced out now? Hello, Jackie. Um, Lauren saying she loves the analogy, re the cat. Definitely higher consciousness with this loud ear ringing. Oh yeah, the ear ringing is something else that's been happening. And Lauren saying those quests that you speak of is aligned with the Aries North Node change on the 17th of July. Okay, so that's how the masculine's really showing up as this kind of knight in armor, and ready to cut through, ready to bring in the new with their sword of light, and in yeah, that sword of light holds a lot of key codes that link to your or to the divine feminine's heart as well. Lauren saying she knew it was a new level because she was disorientated and dizzy, but didn't have a nasty headache, which has happened previously. Jackie saying rabbit holes conspiracy concepts galore. Yeah, exactly. She's a Oh, Larissa's saying she has a white rabbit on her desk. It represents her DM. Nice. And Anakwe is saying hello from London, just popping in for a second. We'll watch the replay. Between the channels, I've been feeling under spiritual attack from energies. Has anybody else felt spiritual, energetic warfare? Somebody I spoke to today said that she had been experiencing that. And what she did was she just stated clearly, definitively, get out of here, and you're not welcome, and they left. So give that a try. We really are very powerful, much more powerful than perhaps we give ourselves credit for. Oh, there you go. Jackie's saying yes. Last 2 days, I demanded them gone. It's if you just think about some of this that's been, we're right up here to the surface part being cleared out, and so they're going to be looking for any kind of strangleholds or any way that they can be, have some kind of retribution, and just know that you can get rid of them. Is it your anger, Jackie? Because I think anger will be is one of the emotions that's coming up. So I want to tell you that how I saw the energies, and apart from the colours, was if you imagine taking a tin of dressmaking pins. It's like they were thrown into the sky. So there's little sharp and jagged edges everywhere, being very provocative and prickly. So that can be kind of irritating and bringing out. It's like, what's that other song? Oh, Ain't No Stopping Us Now. And that can be applied from a lot of levels. It's like there's no getting out of this. There's no getting away from this now. It's everything is designed to bring us to break us, to bring us to the 0 point. So for the divine feminine, it's like it's bringing the divine feminine to that place where the divine feminine just goes, stuff it. I've had enough. And then from there, you come into the realization that handing it over is the only sane thing to do. And then you can drop into more ease with it. So it's like the anger, the irritation, the effort. And when we stop, it's funny, isn't it? F14, and we stop effing it. When we stop that, we come into ease, we come into peace, and then we can drop into this incredible level of trust and faith and knowing that this is a done deal and that you don't have control over the timing of it. And so you sit in that place, and then you can come back to love, and you give that love to yourself. And you know that you're not a fool, and that you haven't been led down the garden path, that this is a divinely orchestrated connection, event, a coming together. And so you get to that place where you can just smile about it, and you don't have to know when. You just know that it is. And you know that the masculine are on their, if you like, their part, their end part, their gathering up what they need to do, and you remember that this feels like a very long time. But in the big scheme of things, it's a very short period of time, and we're coming to well, it's not the conclusion, it's the beginning of the new. Everything has to be moved out of the way. The power of these connections is so phenomenal that all sorts of things have been thrown at them so they don't happen. And all sorts of things have been thrown at the divine masculine because of it being in the physical world. And so we're at that kind of place. Um, and so just know how amazing you are, how powerful you are at this incredible journey that you've been on, and that you can kind of, sit looking out the window knowing that it's coming, and feel into the energetics of the love, and know that you have been undoing a couple of thousand years of stuff, of programs, of wounding, of trauma. And if more comes up, then just attend to it. And things can be attended to quite quickly now in these energies. And smile. Smile and be enjoying nature. Let's see. What else is here? We land. Charlotte's saying, oh, Charlotte's been feeding these lambs on her property, and she had swirling emotions let go from her stomach. Yes, someone I did a session with in the last couple of days that's been very strong, the energy in the masculine stomach. It's their release, the release of what sits in the pit of their stomach, the fear. It's from there they have to raise up into courage, some of them anyway. Something been off, Sarah is saying. Yeah, it has. It's been hard to grapple with, I think, because it's been so monumental, because it's been like taking this giant bucket of energies and just throwing them over the planet. Intensity much higher, yeah, so more compressed, higher frequency, and more complex as well, so kind of hard to get our head around, and that's why I suggest that we don't. Fun squirrel last night, so difficult to hold energy in her body, full-time focus to keep self together like you were drugged. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I can get a sense of that though. It's a little bit. I think I had an experience of that. Oh, it's like being between two dimensions. Fun squirrel. As someone else I was speaking to about that, and that was the experience we were sharing about. Is um, like you're moving from one to the other, but you haven't got all of you there. So I often think this exercise of moving your arms out and then into up here, prayer position, and then down. It's like I'm just bringing all the energies into center, and doing that a few times can be a helpful instruction to your energies. Many thanks for that beautiful description of us, Dee. It's just dropping into trust and know it's a done deal. Yeah, nothing can stop these connections despite the 3D situation. That's right. And it's just so, like the other thing that's come to me, that's apparent to me, is I have no idea of the order of things now. It's like everything is, if this was a sinkhole, if this was the bath plug, it's like everything's around the rim, the dissolution of the old, the revealing of how we've been manipulated, the things coming out to the people who are only just awakening. And some of that's quite hilarious, really. And it's designed, I believe, it's designed for them to go, what? What? Did I just hear that? That makes absolutely no sense. And so they're starting to dismiss what they will hear, and then that will allow them to soften to hear greater truth. Okay. Feeling extraterrestrial presence to a degree of insanity, experimental energies, and feeling the need to, don't know what that word is. F-L-E, but there's a few letters missing. Compressed is definitely a good word. Often feel drugged. Do you feel that in your mind between the channels? Is there a place in your body that you register that feeling? Okay, I'll flee. Feeling the need to flee. Okay, I can tell you a little exercise I remember doing. I tried this with one of the boys in our family because that was what I felt he was having an experience of. He was sort of between dimensions. So if you do like a jump, a two-footed jump from side to side, that can often help your energetic body come into alignment with your physical body. Head nasal passages. That could be to do with your third eye. I'll just speak some light language to you and see if it helps. Ia tōkana shi tiana a hoa tishi toa kana taka oa shi etia akotoka iki a shui a toa ia o shi ana atakana ia o tia isha ta itia koya na shia ta 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 ta. Take a breath. See if that feels a bit better. The other thing that I need to investigate more is I found out that all of those triangulations that I started talking about the other day, those are our multi-dimensional stargates and portals. That's why they're spinning. It's as though we are starting to access the maneuverability of those, or the layers of them, so they're in different our different fields. So I'll see what more I can find out about that. But that's one lucid moment that I had. Feels like cocaine is in the air. Okay. Yeah. Just order it. Say, by the power of the goddess that I am, I insist and demand that this frequency that feels like cocaine is dissolved. And you could say that a few times, and then you can complete it with "so be it. It is done." Okay, yeah, so it might just be a frequency. Might be a frequency that you're experiencing, or it might be, I don't know. When you're saying it was in the air, I wondered if it was a frequency around you. Nice. Good. Okay. So exciting times, challenging times, but still in the space of knowing that all is well. That there is such a significance in the effect that these connections coming together create for the earth, that they are, a fait accompli. They are a done deal, and it's just the timing, but it really feels like they're close, and it feels like if you think about you being in your empowered, well, let me not say you, if you think about the divine feminine being in their empowered priestess, goddess embodiment and sovereignty. So that's where we are or becoming. The divine masculine have to become the equivalent of that. And so that's what they're doing now. It's like they are cutting off the things that hold them. And it's a very physical journey. So there's movement, there's a lot of movement for them. And then coming into this recognition of really seeing themselves. And so they have to be ready for that. But that's what I believe. They, they're in that spectrum. They're in that spectrum of that. What's happening where you live? That frequency. The bombardment. So, is that frequencies being emitted, or is that higher energies? Do you think it's coming to support you or to keep you trapped? Ah, okay. So it's in your immediate surroundings. Okay. Yes, yes, I agree. We do our healing and now we're helping heal the collective. People passing away, yeah, there's a lot of that. That's, that can have double-edged effects really because it can bring grief, but it can bring release. It releases from the planet and the bigger perspective. It's showing up some of the things that have been occurring in our world on another perspective. Yes, lots of weather, different weather, isn't there? Yeah, there's so that it's really an energetic battle. It's keeping people in a lower frequency so they can't ascend, and we need more to become ready for that because that's what will happen with the tipping planet or the tipping of the planet. And yeah, water is a great cleanser and blessing, and so we can use water for that, and we can bless the water to help the cleansing. Um, the ears ringing, yeah, the ear. So that may well be related to your audio, your clear audience opening up, and I believe that that's happening for a lot of people at the moment. And yes, so bless the water, purify the water, do what you can, get some crystals, get some shungite, add those to it. Um, Sarah's saying, not sure if this is helpful, but last night she either walked into or was hit by something energetically that she couldn't feel if it was friend, foe, or foreign alien. So I asked for angelic help. Good. And then she asked her guides to help ground her as she became so ungrounded she almost forgot where I was for a second. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I think you did all the right things. We can get thrown when these things happen. Yeah, so you could do that as well between the channels. Call in, so you can call in. So you can let's see, you can call in Archangel Michael for protection, and you can. What I will do is I will attach a PDF of the armor of God, which is all about the light protection that you can create around yourself. So you can call in all of the things to do with Archangel Michael, the sword of truth, and there's sandals and a belt and etc. And fed up, I think a lot of divine feminines have been through that at the moment. And yeah, that's right. And so that will be there. You'll be there doing the work on that. So send send me a message between the channels about where you are, and I'll see what I can do about doing some clearing on that for you. Technology here is integrated. Yeah, so that's all what we have to find our way through, isn't it? And we just have to know that we are just keeping on clearing and keeping on holding, and that we can work together to clear. Um, and yeah, I've got an area, someone I've been speaking to in Canada. Do some clearing there tonight. And it's easy, it's simple. It's simple to do this clearing. So, I might even, I might end up, I might do some kind of video about it. Anyway, sending you lots of love. It sounds like you've got a bit of a tough mission between the channels. And so let's have everybody who is here sending you some energy for that. But call in Archangel Michael, call in Saint Germain. So call in Saint Germain and the gold and silver violet flame, and that is a transformational energy. And so you can call them into, cut the cords and to transmute the energies. That's maybe the simplest thing that I can tell you. Frog and 4TD. Oh, oops, third eye. A frog in your third eye. Oh, wow. I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's pretty exciting, and I know I'm often the person who says that, but I do find it exciting. It's, I think about how long we've been doing this for, and this whole feeling fed up. A lot of the divine feminines um, have felt that. It's like the divine feminines had to be pushed to the ground and have their faces smashed into the mud so they could sit up and go, I give up. Give up, I've had enough, because that's like our being forced to surrender. Because honestly, we're very persevering. And so it's like we've been, um, yeah, wrestled to the ground. Like Abraham used to have a saying like that made me really laugh about. We will wrestle them to the ground and kill them, and as though that's what humans wanted to do with their egos when they were becoming spiritual. But so that always used to make me laugh. But it does feel a bit like that for the divine feminine. It's been a long journey that a lot of the divine feminine have been very constant in their work of self healing. And the healing that the divine feminines are doing, of course, is impacting and assisting the divine masculine. And it's good to, don't go into that makes you more important than the divine masculine, or that you've done more work. It's just been the appointed work that the divine feminine have done. But we're really close to this all coming together. And Craig's here saying it's feeling easier to shift into non-attachment the last few days, almost like I've been blocked from it for the last 2 years. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, it's really shifted. So, I felt the energy shift right at the beginning of June, and then I felt them shift in the solstice, and then I felt them shift, I think, 2 days ago. And it's cool. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So bless you all, and thank you. Honestly, thank you so much for all the lovely messages that you sent me when I said that I was a bit under the weather. And just know that, we've got this. It's like Gaia said, this is happening. And remember that life is full of possibility. So be in this, working with what it is that you are summoning up, what you are existing in your creative world, that you are in this beautiful, loving connection, and that you are having so much fun, that you've cleared and healed and aligned and powerful, that you are clearing things out so the world can come into its ascension, that you're dreaming up where it is you live and the things that you go and do together, and say it as though it's already here, and be in the energy of it, and know that it is in its imminent arrival. All right. Enough is enough. Yeah. So enough is enough. And so it's like, give it away. And then you can, like, I think that there's something to be said for sitting in the neutral, like when you've got to the fed up part, just like be in the total nothing zone, like as though you don't have any feelings, as though like everything is just flat. And then when you've done that, then start to pull in this new higher energy and just know we've gone through big changes, and so we're making our adjustments. Alrighty, catch you later. Take care.